And we're on the air in 3, 2, 1.
Speedy TV.
Speedy TV.
Live from Paralyzed Veterans of America's Health Summit.
Delivering excellence, achieving state-of-the-art healthcare.
Hey everyone, I'm Nick McCoy for Speedy TV, and I want to welcome you all to the 2013 Paralyzed Veterans of America's third annual Summit and Expo right here in beautiful Orlando, Florida. So every year this event brings together hundreds of medical professionals so they can share and learn about the latest scientific achievements, therapies, and treatments in spinal cord injury, dysfunction, and multiple sclerosis healthcare. So over the course of the next few days, we're going to be speaking with many of the people involved, and we're also going to be seeing and hearing about some of the latest innovations. And today is day one, so let's go ahead and get started. And I'm here with Bill Lawson, the president of the PVA, the guy who's in charge of this summit and expo. Bill, great to have you. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Well, this is the third annual PVA Summit and Expo. How does that make you feel? You have to be very proud of it going into its third year.
Well, I am. It's been exciting, to be able to have our third year, and with all the people that are coming here and the large number of people that registered for this summit, it gives us hope that one day, they'll find some new treatments for spinal cord injury and dysfunction. And with the amount of people here, it just encourages us to continue to put this summit on in future years. Back in 1946, when Paralyzed Veterans of America was founded, the number one thing of their goals that they set was quality of care for veterans with spinal cord injury and dysfunction. And a few years later, PVA adopted that as a mission statement, and I think our founding fathers would be very proud of what their vision has developed into with this summit.
Why is this summit important here?
Well, this summit is important to be able to have leaders in the medical communities, professionals, to be able to come here, learn new techniques, talk about innovative things that they're doing back at their home clinics, and do that sharing. And hopefully, when they go back, they'll be inspired and maybe go back with a lot of new ideas, which will even further help the quality of care that they're providing.
I saw you attending different conferences and different booths and things like that. It seems like you kind of want to hit all areas. And what do you hope to learn this year?
Well, as far as the expo goes, I like to visit each booth. Number one, to thank them for their support, because without them exhibiting, we wouldn't be able to afford to put this summit on. But secondly, I'm really interested in all the new technologies out there, and this expo here, I've seen 2 or 3 different things that have really impressed me. There's one that they have a collapsible wheel, believe it or not, of a wheelchair that makes it easier to stow into a car, and I was pretty impressed with that. And there's other new inventions that I'm still yet wait to see.
So what is your hope that this summit, where would you like this summit, what would you like this summit to become in the next few years?
In 5 years, I would like to see this be an international event. I would like to see people from Europe and all over the world come to this summit to learn more about treatment of spinal cord injury and dysfunction, and hopefully bigger crowds. I'd like to see this one day fill a complete convention hall.
So clinicians that are watching and are on the fence about if they should come or not, why do they need to be here at this summit?
They need to be here because they're going to learn a lot of new things. Another part of this is that we do offer CUEs for those professionals that need they have to have so many CUEs in a year to maintain their licenses, and we provide that avenue for them through this summit. But those people that are out there on the fence, you ought to come here, look at what we have to offer. There are scientific presentations about spinal cord injury and treatments and things, and I think you would get a great benefit out of it.
Absolutely. So potential sponsors, why should different organizations and companies get involved with sponsoring this event?
Well, the men and women that Paralyzed Veterans of America represent, our membership, you got to think that these people gave not the ultimate sacrifice, but almost the ultimate sacrifice. They gave up their bodies in service of their country. They volunteered, they served, they sacrificed, and they come home broken. And people ought to support this for the simple fact that it's the right thing to do. It's the thing to be able to help those people that served to have a better quality of life, and that's what this is all about.
And I just kind of wanted, in case people don't know that are watching, what sort of services does the PVA offer veterans with spinal cord injuries?
Well, we offer many different services. One of our primary things is ensuring that they get their quality of medical care in the VA. Second thing is when they come back, they're entitled to certain benefits, and we have a number of service officers. We have 54 offices across the United States that's what they do. They help veterans to get the benefits that they've earned through the VA.
So no matter where they are throughout the country, they can find help with your organization.
Absolutely. We're in every spinal cord injury center in the VA, and we're at a lot of the just regular VA hospitals that have SCI clinics. And our doors are open, and they're open to any veteran. It's not just limited to people with paralysis. It's any veteran can come and ask for help, and we'll certainly help them.
That's great.
By the way, the services that we do provide to the veterans, whether it be looking at their medical care, whether it's getting their benefits, or helping them to get a job, is at no cost to them. PVA does not charge for that, and that's why we rely so heavily on support from the private sector in donations, because we offer that free of charge, and it's a great thing for these veterans. I mean, I was in that position one day, and I went and sought out help from an NSO, and look at me today. I mean, that's an end result.
Right. You seem like a very passionate man. It's great to speak with you. Do you have anything else that you want to say to the people watching at home?
Well, those of you that are clinicians interested in spinal cord injury, go to PVA.org and start watching for our next summit, and sign up and come on. It's going to be in Las Vegas next year, and we would love to have you come and join us, because the end result is going to be that everyone that leaves this summit will be able to provide a better quality of care to anyone with a spinal cord injury, and that's what it's all about.
That's fantastic. It's an honor speaking with you. You're very passionate about all this, and this is a fantastic event, and I hope you have a great summit and great next 3 days. Thank you. Thanks for speaking with you.
You bet. Thank you.
All right, I'm here at another sponsor booth, ProMobile, with Jim Papik. Jim, great to be speaking with you today. How has your experience at the summit been so far?
It's really, really good, because you meet a lot of people that are very high quality people, very knowledgeable about what they're doing, and it's great to be able to interact and exchange information. I know last year went off really, really well, and appears it's going to happen this year as well.
Great. Can you tell us a little bit about what ProMobile does?
We are a high-end manufacturer of powered mobility equipment, and all the way from a single-function power chair all the way up to our most sophisticated device. This is a power-driven power stand chair that goes from sit to stand. Head controls, a lot of sophisticated technology that can really be tailored to the individual user.
I know you have a couple of chairs that you want to show off. Can you introduce the chairs, and which one do you want to talk about first?
I'll start here and finish here.
Sure. What are we looking at here?
This is the C500 VS. It's a power-driven power stand wheelchair. It's front-wheel drive. It's pretty much the eventuation of the original ProMobile. ProMobile pioneered front-wheel drive. And we have all kinds of chairs leading up to this chair, and this chair has tilt, recline, power elevating legs, and in addition, the standing feature. And three reasons people are going to stand. One is this eye-to-eye thing. 2 is function. And 3, there's a whole bunch of health benefits that come along with being vertical again. So this is where the line begins. And again, you can be functional because you can stand up and drive, and it will go to the seated position. There's a couple chairs, standing chairs in between from here to here, but this is the beginning of the line. Sure. And this is called the Helium, and it's a titanium aluminum.
What's the name of the chair?
Helium.
Helium. Okay.
Right. So it's the world's lightest stand-up wheelchair. And it goes sit to stand, and what it does is combine the benefits of mobility, high-end mobility, with standing. Okay. So instead of a standing frame, which you have a ultralight chair and a standing frame, which is static, this provides both. So I'll get in it and demonstrate for you.
Yeah. Hop on in.
This is the knee block mount. Up and around. This chair fits me about right. I got a hand thickness between the shin and the knee block. Don't forget the chest strap, because this keeps you in the chair. I have seen people hop in the chair and forget the chest strap, and it's not something you want to try. There's a couple locks under here that keep it from standing when you don't want it to. So I'm going to release those. There's 2 gas struts built into this frame. When I release it, it starts to stand me up. And then the gas struts, I can float here if I want because of the gas struts. And then I keep going up, and then when I'm up, locks out.
And it looks like it didn't take you much effort at all to get from sitting to standing.
No, it doesn't. And then people will ask, well, do you have to have some function, in your lower extremities? And the answer is no. We have accommodated all the way up to a C5 complete injury in this chair. So what you've got is sit to stand, and you've got mobility. This chair pushes just like an ultralight. I do a wheelie for you, but I have anti-tips. And then we have a pouch that this is housed in when you're not using it. So this is a very well-kept secret, unfortunately, in our industry. It's growing and growing.
And you're talking about this specific kind of wheelchair?
Stand-up chairs, yeah. Especially this chair, because this chair's been around for a long time. But as we get more and more exposure, people more and more take advantage of it, and it has a lot to offer. What I didn't show you was I can be halfway up in the floating position and move around. So if I'm in the kitchen or the shop, I can just grab things, and at the same time, I'm cycling the anatomy and getting the health benefits. Right. It's huge.
We all can help spread the word. This is an amazing chair, and people need access to it.
Great. Thank you for your time.
Yep. Thank you so much. You guys do great work, and enjoy the rest of the summit.
Speedy TV,
Live from Paralyzed Veterans of America's Health Summit.
delivering excellence, achieving state-of-the-art healthcare.
Speedy TV.
Hi, I'm here with one of the Excellence Award winners. I'm here with Sophia Chun. How are you? Are you happy to be here?
Yes. Thank you very much.
And you are specifically the winner of the Physician Award. How does it feel to win an award like this?
Well, it's a great honor. PVA has always been a great partner for us. They are a great advocate for the patients, and they are probably one of the most active patient advocacy organization at the VA, and it's a great honor to be recognized by the PVA.
How specifically does that relationship work with your job and the PVA?
That's a good question. So the local chapter for the PVA is stationed actually right in our center. So they are our eyes and their ears for the patients. So we meet with them monthly and more frequently as needed. And they let us know how we're doing. If there's anything that needs to be improved, they let us know. If there's something that we're doing well, they also let us know about that. So they are a great partner, and they help us to do our job better.
Great. It sounds like they're a significant part of what you do, and wouldn't be possible without them. So are you happy to be here at the summit, and what kinds of things do you want to get out of this year's summit?
Well, this is once a year that the whole spinal cord injury community gets together, and we're able to network together, share ideas, and I'm really looking forward to once every year it's like a reunion. We get to meet all of our colleagues and share
All of your old
ideas.
friends.
Yes, absolutely. And also the PVA has done a great job of putting together really high quality educational and training programs, and look forward to bringing back information to our center and utilizing the information to help patients on a practical level as well.
So what is your area of expertise? Like, what do you do day to day?
So we're a spinal cord injury center. So we serve veterans with spinal cord injury. We provide pretty much the whole continuum of care, from their brand new injury all the way to hospice care, so and anything in between. So we provide full comprehensive inpatient and outpatient care. And basically have special programs for patients and quality of life type of programs, and we also do research as well.
It sounds like a lot.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so if there are clinicians out there on the fence about coming to this summit, what would you say to them? Do they need to be here?
Absolutely. If you are serving persons with spinal cord injury, this is one conference where all that comes together. So while there are conferences for rehab where they include some spinal cord injury medicine, this is a specifically tailored for persons who serve persons with spinal cord injury, and it gives a lot of practical information, clinical information, as well as those who are interested in research in spinal cord injury. It's a great forum to just get concentrated quality information about spinal cord injury.
All right, welcome back. We are with the one and only Dr. Rory Cooper. He's a keynote speaker today, and we've been trying to track him down all day. We finally got in touch with him, and we're going to ask him a couple questions. First of all, I want to know, how are you doing? How are you feeling? I know that you were up there with your wife earlier today. Was that a unique experience for you? Do you normally work together and do conferences together?
Well, I'm feeling great. I love to come to this conference. Of course, PVA meant a lot to me, being a member, and of course that's my endowed chair, and they've supported me throughout my entire career. And it was the first, my wife and I, we attend a lot of conferences together, but we've never actually spoken together.
How did she do?
She did great.
Would she say the same about you?
Yeah, sure. We speak, I would think so. We speak differently. You know, I'm the bioengineer, the scientist. She's a PT, and she's very passionate. She's very good at relating to clients, and that's how she speaks. And I'm better at developing new technologies, and
so it's kind of like the yin and yang. It works out
a little bit, yeah.
So does she tell you or kind of influence you in what to research? Does she have any kind of foothold in that area? Or do you get 100% say?
Oh, no. She's very good at telling me what research needs to be done. It's what research can we do, what research needs to be done, and what can we get the funding for to do. And so it's a little bit of a mix there. But it's great at keeping our research grounded and meeting people's really what their needs are, and keeping it focused on their priorities as well. Maybe because it's my Army experience, I'm very kind of mission-driven, and a little less intellectual curiosity-driven. So I'm happy to learn from her and the clients. She's very good at recruiting for us, and of course we do a lot of research in her clinic, and her and her colleagues give us a very honest opinion of whether we're doing a good job. And that's really what you want. You don't want to be on the wrong track and people trying to be nice to you.
So in your specific field, I don't know if you can talk about everything, but what is the cutting edge stuff that you are exploring right now? Can you talk about everything that you're studying? What can we expect 5 years from now from you?
So that's a good question. So we have probably 75 ongoing protocols in my center. We're a big center. Okay. So it's impossible to talk about everything. But
we have all day.
I think the things that are probably most exciting is the tools that we're developing, like apps and measurement, like the functional mobility assessment tool, which is basically like an online type survey for improving clinical practice. I think the user interfaces we're working with, like Mike Moninger and Wenwei and Jen College on the direct brain interface work, which is in such you could call that tied into our larger scheme of robotics. We showed our robot doing kitchen tasks today, work-related tasks, helping with transfers, those sort of activities. I think robotics we'll see more of, and intelligent systems.
You might have already covered this, but how exactly does your work and your organization fit in with the PVA?
So in many regards, I'm a PVA member, and so I'm actively involved, and also on the board of the Research Foundation, and help PVA decide what research to invest in. And then I assist with meetings like this. PVA helped to fund my chair, and we get some funding from PVA as well. And probably the best thing that PVA does for us is their members are very active in participating in our research, helping to guide our research on the directions we need to be taking, what's important to them, and advocating for our research.
That sounds awesome. I'm wondering, do you have a favorite story of your research directly affecting a veteran or somebody with spinal cord injuries? Anything off the top of your head of your favorite story?
Well, I mean, probably one of the best story, it's not about a particular individual, but about 10 years ago, we developed the natural fit hand rim, which is the ergonomic hand rims on my chair. And there's been over 50,000 units sold. Most of the new veterans with spinal cord injuries come out with them on their chair. So yeah, it's just great to go around here or go to the veterans wheelchair games or in a VA hospital and see our technology literally in use.
What does that feel like to just see something that you created and a large amount of people are using it and getting a great deal of benefit from it?
Oh, it's very rewarding. That's what we do it for. You know, probably 20 years ago, my first real success was the square cross brace, which is the folding mechanism on folding chairs. It used to be a very common point of failure, so wheelchairs would break there. And so our lab tackled that problem, and now it doesn't happen nearly as much. It almost rarely happens. And so those are on hundreds of thousands of people. So just about everywhere you go, you kind of see. People don't know. It's one of those things that's sort of behind the system. It's like working on the operating system of the software, but it's out there, you know, all over, hundreds of thousands of people using it. So, you know, that feels just very rewarding. And to know that we solved a big problem, people get more mobility, less injury, get more out of their devices.
What do you think about the summit this year? I know it's day one, but what do you hope to get out of this summit? How do you think it's going so far?
I think the summit's going very well. One of the things I really like about this summit is that because of PVA's leadership in the summit, it's going to be very focused on sort of current needs as well as future needs, sort of cutting edge needs. And it's a great partnership between the clinicians that provide care to individuals with spinal cord injury and individuals with spinal cord injury, and then the companies providing those services, and then bringing in a few of us researchers to sort of hear what's going on, hear what the people with spinal cord injury have to say, what the clinicians have to say, to sort of shape our research as well, and for them to see what's coming down the pike to shape their future. And there's really no other conference that has that unique mix.
Great, and it sounds like, you know, for people to absorb all this stuff, they need to come year after year, and there's always going to be a benefit to coming here. I want your opinion on what would you tell people who are on the fence about coming here? Why is this so important to be here if you are in the spinal cord industry as possible sponsor or clinician? Why do people need to be here for this event every year?
Well, what really makes this event unique is that it's got the clinicians, the consumers, and scientists all in one setting, and it's very driven as to what the issues that those clinicians and consumers are facing, but it's still maintained at a pretty high level of science and clinical expertise. And so it's not a consumer conference, it's not a scientific conference, it's not a clinician conference, it's kind of all of them merged into one. And so you can learn something. I think what makes it really, real reason to come is that progress is made at the interfaces of disciplines, and so getting the clinicians and the scientists with different backgrounds and different training, and getting the consumers, that's where you can see where the challenges really exist, where the opportunities exist, and how to improve your life, your practice, or your science.
And that's happening here every hour.
And that happens here.
Perfect. Do you have anything else to say or you want to comment on about this year's summit?
No, just thank you, PVA, for putting it on. It's great to be here.
Thank you so much for speaking with us. Enjoy the rest of the summit and your time here in beautiful Orlando.
All right, thank you.
We've got an entire generation of men and women who have seen war. They're going to need voices.
Paralyzed Veterans of America represents them.
We're going to make sure that the Veterans Affairs gives them everything that they're entitled to.
Changing lives, building futures. That's Paralyzed Veterans of America.
Welcome back. I'm here with another Excellence Award winner, Dr. Linda Mona. Linda, it's great to have you here. I know it's near the end of a long day, day one of the Summit and Expo. First, I want to say congratulations on you winning the award in psychology. Can you talk about how that makes you feel?
Oh, wow. It's such an honor to be honored by PVA, and for healthcare advocacy, it's particularly meaningful to me because as a disabled psychologist providing services to people with disabilities, part of what I do is very much advocacy work through clinical treatment and evidence-based treatment. So it's quite an honor.
Okay, so in layman's terms, can you explain to me what you do? What do you do day to day?
So what I do day to day is I provide mental health assessment and treatment for veterans with spinal cord injuries. That can be through outpatient work and also through inpatient work. So somebody might come as an outpatient for common conditions such as depression, adjustment to disability, anxiety, just life improvement sometimes. This doesn't have to be a huge presenting issue that is necessarily a problem, but somebody might feel a little off with something. Also, we have a number of patients who come in for inpatient care for medical reasons and have difficulties coping with prolonged hospitalizations or other issues that might come with interacting with staff. And so I provide direct clinical services with that. And I also train psychology interns and fellows in how to deal with these issues as well.
That's fantastic. Do you have, I guess, a favorite story of your direct work, directly affecting one of your patients, one of your veteran patients?
Oh, I have a great story, and it always has to be about sex with me because all of, I know you're laughing about that. So a lot of the work, and one of the reasons I think that I received this award is around my efforts to make sure that sexuality is an important part of comprehensive clinical care. So we think a lot of people go through adjustment and a number of issues when they're adapting to spinal cord injury and or living with it for 30 years. And I always ask about sex, and all mental health professionals should ask about sex. Not that it has to be the most important, but it has to be a menu on our rehabilitation menu. So one of my favorite stories is working with somebody for on and off for 2 years after adjustment to significant spinal cord injury. And he was somebody who really kind of felt that his masculinity had been damaged significantly, and we worked for a very long time on how to adapt his flirtation skills, how he was going to talk to potential dating partners, and finally went through with some of what we call behavioral exercises in psychology, where he experimented going out to meet somebody, and he came back to me, and I saw he rode up in his chair to my office and poked his head around the corner, and he said, "Doc, I'm a man again." And he had had a successful dating experience. And so that was incredibly positive and may seem frivolous to some people, but was so significant to him and his identity as a human being. And so that's why I do all of this work around sexuality and making sure that we can prioritize a lot of things in people's lives, because good things and bad things happen, and sex is one of those positive things that buffers experiences. And so if you can get people back into pleasurable experiences in their life, it helps them cope with pretty much everything else.
So somebody with spinal cord injury, do you recommend that they see someone with your background, or do they have if they're dealing with certain things, should they only come to you then?
That's a really good question, because part of what we have done in the Veterans Healthcare Administration has been advocating for integrated care and teamwork, which means that everybody who goes through SCI services is seen by a psychologist, whether they like it or not, which is different, right? Because in the community, people go to seek psychological services. So we do that to make sure that we're not missing anything, and to see if there's any way that we can also just enhance somebody's life, not that it has to be problem focused. So I think that within VHA, and when we provide our comprehensive services, all spinal cord injured veterans see psychology. They can certainly refuse to see us if they don't want to see us, but that might be a brief check-in, 15, 20 minutes once a year. How are things going? That plants a seed and a discussion and a forum, so that person knows that in the event that they need you, they can come back, and they know who to speak to. So I think it's, we hit across broadly to make sure we're not going to miss anything, but we certainly don't force somebody to stay with us if we don't feel like if they don't feel like it's appropriate, or we don't as well.
That's fantastic. I want to ask you, what drives you to do the work that you do?
You know, I have always wanted to be a psychologist, and in my high school yearbook, when I was a freshman, I was interviewed, and I said, you know, I'm going to go and I'm going to get a degree in clinical psychology, and I want to help people with disabilities. So I'm one of those weird people who knew very early on what I wanted to do. I think what drives me is my passion around being able to have the privilege to have had education, to have a voice as a diverse person. So I am not a person with a spinal cord injury. I'm somebody who lives with a mobility impairment. I have a common experience, and I get it. And so having that coupled with the privilege of a lot of education, a lot of great mentorship, I feel like I, can be a translator sometimes with healthcare policy, with research and education, and that can trickle down to the individual level where I can provide that one-on-one service as well. So I think it's about personal experience, which has in part to do with disability. Probably it's my personal passion as well. It just is who I am. I can't imagine not working for community-based values.
So no, I saw you on a speaking panel. Are you speaking throughout the next couple days? What do you plan on doing the next couple days?
What am I doing? Yes, so I had a sex talk today at this morning, and then we did something on serious mental illness and spinal cord injury. Tomorrow I'm talking on interdisciplinary team care, and then I'm also talking about surgery and psychology, talking about different camps joining hands around body image issues. So I'm going to be doing a lot of work. I have a lot of trainees here who I'm also proud of, and hoping to get them networked with other folks, and there are a lot of colleagues that I love, and I'm looking forward to sitting down and talking with them, spending some good time. And I don't know, Nick, you might get me out here by the pool at some point. Right. I don't know. If you can help me sneak away, right?
And welcome back to the expo. I'm at the VMI booth, right, with Monique McGivney right here. How are you doing, Monique? How is your summit going?
It's going great. Absolutely great.
And can you tell us a little bit about the product behind us and what your company does?
Yep. So VMI, we've been in business for 26 years, make wheelchair accessible vans. Our differentiation from a ramp system is our North Star ramp, which I'll demonstrate for you. It's an in-floor ramp, very simple system. It's got a lot of features and benefits. So basically a push of a button, the door opens, the ramp will deploy, the van will kneel. As you notice, the whole van will start lowering down. And the purpose of that is somebody in a manual chair needs the ramp angle as slight as possible. 1 degree of difference may be somebody in a manual chair being able to get in the van or not. So it's a really great feature, and then tons of space in our van. We have more space than any other Toyota Sienna from a wheelchair accessibility. We build our vans for larger wheelchairs. Both seats are removable, so somebody could drive into the van and drive away with hand controls, or be a passenger in their chair, or be put in the middle of the van. So multiple seating options with all of our products.
So it's really everything that you need to get mobile and get around, and it's very easy.
Independence. So especially for veterans, they get certain grants, and VMI is processed through the VA. So we help veterans process those claims and get into a wheelchair accessible van.
How long has VMI been doing this with the PVA? And take me through the history of how you guys first got in touch and started working together.
This is our second year as a sponsor with PVA, and it's been a dream because paralyzed veterans are really our core target audience. Everybody who's a member of the PVA is a potential customer of ours. And we feel like our vans, they're suited for any veteran, whether they're a driver or passenger, especially with a disease like MS or ALS. This conversion grows with you. So if you are first diagnosed with MS or ALS, you may be able to drive. So you can wheel your wheelchair right into the driver position and drive away. As the disease progresses, you may have to move over to the passenger position. So you don't need a whole new van, you just have to modularize it.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, what is your experience like this year at the summit? Are you impressed with what you're seeing?
Absolutely. We have a couple people that are actually attending some of the seminars, and we want to be as focused on the veterans as we can and talk the same lingo that they do. So the more education we can get, the better we can help them find the best fit for them for our product.
Now, for the people watching at home, tell them, why is it important to be here, and specifically, why should they sponsor this event?
The summit? Well, our target audience, all the people that are here, from doctors, OTs, PTs, clinicians, they influence our customer and veteran. They're working with our veteran through rehabilitation processes. And ultimately, when they need an accessible van, they now know about this product because they came here, saw our product, talked to us, learned all the ins and outs where they may have not got that opportunity before.
Right. And you specifically, what do you want to take away from this event over the course of the next 3 days?
VMI? Just not learning. We want to learn as much as we can how we as VMI can help veterans, how can we streamline paperwork, any way that we can help veterans, doctors, OTs, PTs, streamline processes getting somebody into a wheelchair accessible van. That's VMI's goal.
Well, that's it for day one of the Summit and Expo right here in beautiful Orlando, Florida, and we have a whole lot more coming your way. Tomorrow we'll be speaking with Lena McKenzie, who actually spearheads the entire event. And of course, we'll be speaking with more sponsors and attendees, and we'll be learning more about the latest innovations and technologies. But until then, my name is Nick McCoy for Speedy TV. We'll see you next time.
Speedy TV, a service of Paralyzed Veterans of America.